Gem, it's been almost 3 years since the hugely popular Pokemon Go got gamers outside exploring an augmented world on their mobile devices. And surprisingly, only a handful of games have attempted to copy this idea, with few reaching the same levels of success.
Well, now it's time to see if swapping out pocket monsters for ghosts and ghouls is the next big thing, as we charge up our proton packs and get bustin' in Ghostbusters world.
Ghostbusters World is a free-to-play exploration game for mobile that has you out exploring real-world streets for all manner of spectres and spooks. You navigate your newly recruited team member around a world map that uses your phone's GPS. And as you do so, all sorts of weird and wacky ghosts will appear randomly for you to zap, cap, and trap.
After coming face to face with one of these apparitions, you'll first need to drain it of its ectoplasmic energy. And you do this by blasting it with a proton stream, countering its attacks, and eventually dragging it into one of those classic Ghostbusters traps.
And voila! You've caught yourself a focused, non-terminal repeating phantasm, or a Class 5 full-roaming vapor.
It's a nasty one too.
Right from the start, I really enjoyed how involved you need to be in these battles. Along with juggling your health and a timer, stronger ghosts can break out of traps, so you'll need to wear them down first with a few boson bolts, or the occasional spectral slam. It feels like the right amount of gameplay to keep you on your toes, instead of simply throwing out more traps. Plus, all the Ghostbusters weapons and gadgetry just make sense in this style of game.
Totally, and it looks especially cool when you choose that augmented camera view. This drops the ghosts into the real world. Just be careful not to spook your friends and co-workers. Watch out, Elliot!
There's also a great variety in the design of all the ghosts you'll encounter too, ranging from classics like Slimer, an evil toaster, even a haunted toilet. No thanks. And this makes adding them to your collection all the more fun, because catching ghosts is only half the game here.
Yes, as all the creepies you collect will then join your team, and you can level them up and fight them through various stages in the Ghost Dimension! Woo! These turn-based brawls send your selection of spectres up against waves of otherworldly opponents, unleashing either regular or special attacks. And these all have altering effects depending on each spirit's elemental base. Overall, the combat is pretty simple and can even be switched to auto and double speed for some of the easier fights. But you will need to direct later fights if you want to avoid a total team wipeout.
This additional game type is played out through a story campaign made up of comic cells and dialogue pop-ups, and also includes some iconic boss battles. Or you can choose to try and tackle Goze's Tower, which is a more direct wave mode. Overall, it's a much needed second layer to this kind of mobile game. I have to say, I really enjoyed mixing up my ghost busting with some ghost brawling.
Me too, especially as each complements the other.
We should mention these spooky microtransactions. Regardless of which mode you're playing, you'll be constantly earning a mix of gems, PKE crystals, and coin currency, which can then be used to purchase and upgrade equipment, as well as level up your ghostly gang for tougher fights. Some of these can, of course, be purchased with real money as well, so be sure to check with any grown-ups if you're tempted to pay for a boost.
Good advice, Darren, but so far we haven't really found it necessary. As long as you're happy to grind through ghosts to level up, or wait for the occasional timer to earn more traps or phantom keys.
Plus, you can also spend that time travelling to dimensional doors, which earn you extra XP and resources while you wait. You can even drop a remote gate if there aren't any around. Also, I especially loved how your character turns into the Ecto-1 when you're travelling fast as a passenger in a vehicle.
It's a nice touch, isn't it? In fact, there are a lot of elements to this that feel far more thought out than in other explore and catch mobile games. But ultimately, Goose, the real question is, did Ghostbuster make you feel good?
Yeah, totally. In fact, Gem, I was surprised at how much I got into this. Ghostbusters World adds enough new game elements to the Go formula to make this feel like a worthwhile trip out to bust some pesky poltergeists. I'm giving it 3.5 out of 5 rubber chickens.
I agree. Including a story mode is a great way to break up the exploration, and gives you something to play when you're not on the move too. And I really got attached to my little team of terrors. I'm also giving Ghostbusters World 3.5 out of 5 rubber chickens.
Oh, and final tip, maybe turn the game music down unless you want this stuck in your head all day. Hit it, Darren!
Busting makes me feel good. Busting makes me feel good. Busting makes me feel good.